this is Tammy with Bar Art Barn Quilts. Alright, this is a 1x1 jigsaw pattern. The pattern is called Checkered Flag. My definition of a jigsaw for my barn quilts is taking a pattern, cutting it into little pieces, and then taking those pieces and reassembling them on another board. Now that I have the pattern all drawn and numbered, I'm down using a scroll saw. The scroll saw is probably 30-40 years old. It was my father's. We've attached a air compressor hose to it, and there's a little copper pipe that goes up over the top and blows air down to keep the dust from your pattern. You will see pieces of this move around because that air is blowing them off of the top as I am cutting them. Alright, I'm starting now to cut out the smaller pieces. Basically, there was over, I believe, 70 or 72 total pieces, with most of that being these little bitty triangles. It was just keep cutting, keep cutting, keep cutting. You might see on here where, as I'm cutting, like, a small square into a triangle, that it'll bounce a little. There's just not a lot of meat there to hold. I mean, that's all there is to it. You're trying to hold down and push through the blade. And when I use this machine, I am very aware of where every single body part is. I've been using this machine since I was like 13, 14 years old. So I'm very familiar with it, but you do have to make sure you are aware of what's going on around you. Alrighty, so now I'm using a belt sander to sand all the edges of the pieces. Years ago I built this jig that allows the belt sander to stay in place upside down and be on so you can use it. Now, I hadn't used it in a while, had to adjust as you can see, but I didn't realize how old my sanding pads were. And you will see here in a second, where they're glued together actually just came apart. I ended up replacing this. There you go. I ended up replacing belts, I believe, 3 times, and finally just gave up and went to my palm sander. So now you've got to paint all these parts. This is an idea that I had come up with. Use painter's tape, use the painter's sticks, flip them over, and then just stick the pieces to the tape. They're not going to move, and then they're easily removable at the end. I started out, put all of them on tape for one color. I labeled the stick what color it needed to be, did the second color, did the third color. Alright, I got everything primed. The board that I'm painting now is going to be the board I glue everything to. I wanted everything on that one to be black. That way, if there, it is going to be cut. So when you look through the cutted pieces, you're not seeing like a white or a gray coming through. That it is muted in the background. Alright, I'm starting out with the color blue. I'm going to put one coat on these, and I'm moving straight into red, and then I'll be putting the first coat on white. I will then come back and put a second coat on all of them. The one good thing about it being on the tape is you can be messy. You don't have to worry about being precise. There's a lot of edges, a lot of surface area to paint on these, and so you can go on, get the face, and literally just kind of be messy to hit the edges. I'm starting second coat on this, and I really tried to do all my touch-ups on this. With all blue and red, I think I ended up putting 3 to 4 coats on those. 3 coats on blue, 4 on red, and 4 on white, and then did touch-ups. The real thing is trying to get the edges covered. The only thing that I wish I would have done was for each of them added more tape so I could have spread them out, because once you got them together, it was hard to really get in the edges of all of them. So future reference, add more tape. If you noticed earlier, before I cut the board, I had numbered all the pieces. I then took those numbers and correlated it to the image. And so what I'm doing now is I am separating all the numbers basically in the rows that they go into, so I can then assemble them onto the blackboard with glue. This was harder than I thought it was going to be. I didn't expect it to be simple when you're dealing with 70 plus pieces. But just each piece can go 3 different ways, and just getting those all lined up. I Here in a minute, you keep looking, you're going to notice I messed up, and I never caught it until later on when I was getting ready to glue that I had messed up the pattern, that I had to actually stop and fix it. And when you finally see it, you can't miss what I did. Do you see it? Can you see what I did? So here I am, getting ready to glue this. I'm getting everything glued down, and I still don't see my mistake. And I decided to do 2 rows at a time, let that dry, and then do another 2 rows, let that dry, and do another 2 rows. The pattern I messed up does not affect these first 2 rows. So I still don't see my mistake. typical fashion, I realized you have to put something on this to hold them down, and I did not even think ahead. After I got done with this, I went and found some bricks. Okay, what I was doing was marking off so I could do 2 lines at a time. And so here is where I figure out my mistake and I start to go into panic mode. I have now put glue on the board. I have started to glue the pieces and realized once I get a few of them on there, the pattern is wrong. And I am scrambling to get everything done. And right there is where I realized it because I know that blue and blue don't go together. Decided just to try to get the bottom 2 rows where they need to be and put them on the glue because that's what I'm working on. That's where I got to get done. So once I get them done, I'll get those on the board. I'll get them weighted down, and then I'm going to go back and fix the pattern that I had already messed up on. Alright, now that I got the pattern figured out, I'm able to go back and start gluing again. So I'm doing again 2 rows at a time. So while the other one has the bricks on and getting weighted down, I can move on to the next 2 rows. It's about 3 to 4 hours later. It says you got 30 minutes on the glue bottle, but I'd rather either let it sit for multiple hours or overnight before taking that weight off. I want to make sure that everything is cured. So here is, I'm getting the last 2 rows on. We'll get those weighted down, and then we will move on to the next phase of the barn quilt. Alright, I'm going to be planing down. It is a picket fence board. I really like using those. They're exterior grade. They are rough cut, so if you're going to be using them for anything like this, you have to plane them down. But it's a nice thin board to use. Once I get it planed down, I'll then be cutting it down to the width I need, and then that will be turned into the frame for the checkered star pattern. Sorry for the shakiness, but my camera was sitting on the table. And then afterwards I realized that I didn't have the stop locked all the way down, and that was making the board bounce. So here we go with angles again. So we gotta do a 45-degree angle for the framing. So cut the 45s, measured them. I did it probably 2, 3, 7, 12 times. All cutting is done. Time to clean up. I've decided to go ahead and paint the frame black. The only thing I wish I had done, I didn't paint the board completely, and once you got it assembled, there was parts that you could see the raw wood. So next time, paint the entire board and just get it done. Now that everything is dry, we're going to go and assemble it. I put it up on the 2x4s just to give me room for my brad nailer, so my knuckles wasn't hitting the table. We glued it, and then we, like it's used brad nails to hold the frame to the board. If anyone would be interested in a jigsaw barn quilt like this one, or another image you'd be interested in, or one on wood or plywood, my contact information is at the end of this video. Thank you all for watching, and love you.